Okay, hey everybody, and welcome to our Live with Liz call. And I am super duper excited and proud of y'all. Hey, buddy. And for all of you all who obviously this is why we practice because we can do this from the comfort of our homes. Tonight I am in my bed just because I feel like it. And so I'm excited that y'all have taken time out of your evenings tonight to get on the call and to just hang out, have fun, and learn. I am thrilled, very, very, very excited and very grateful to have Laura Simmons. She is an amazing sister leg to me and our team, and some of her team has got on tonight, and I'm just ecstatic about that. But I'm excited to have Laura on. She's a senior gold pushing for Ruby ambassador with Plexus, and she is just a phenomenal leader with Plexus and with our teams. I think she is the epitome of one Plexus, I will say that. And so that is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to have Laura on this call, because she's just amazing. And tonight she's just going to share some of her story with us and talk about the ground that we're building on. What are we building upon? And really just expand that. And I'm excited to see where she takes that and teaches us tonight. And so, Laura, if you will, just kind of share some of your story with us for those of y'all who may not know it.
Goodness gracious, that was a super impressive intro. So like Liz said, I'm Laura Simmons, and I'm a senior gold ambassador with Plexus. And just a little bit about my story. I joined in March of 2015, and I was really excited about the business opportunity. I knew that I needed it to be able to afford the products and to be able to continue to stay home with my kids. So I kind of jumped in feet first and just started sharing right away. I promoted to silver, fairly quickly, like within the first month or two. And then I had a super awesome summer last summer. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. I think in June of last year, I personally sponsored 12 ambassadors. And then in July of last year, I personally sponsored 13 new ambassadors. But I didn't go gold. And that was really strange. I had people join, and then I had people fall off. And I had people join, and I had people fall off. And it was depressing by like September or October. But anyway, I kept pushing, and I made it to gold, and then to senior gold, it was a struggle, but we made it. So that's kind of when I was talking to Liz a little bit about doing this call, that's kind of where our conversation took us. And I know that almost every Plexus ambassador who has been in this business for probably more than like 6 or 8 months, you've probably thought about quitting. I know I have, just being honest. I've thought about it like, is this really worth it? Is the rejection worth it? Is the work worth it? Is it all worth it? And it all comes back to that foundation that we built in the beginning. And when I was talking to Liz, we were talking about this topic and everything, and I thought of this song that my little girl sings from her church school, from her preschool. And it is I'm not going to sing it for you because I'm not a singer. But it is, the wise man built his house upon the rock. The rains came tumbling down, the floods came up, but the house on the rock stood firm. And then the next verse is, the foolish man built his house upon the sand. The rains came down, the floods came up, and the house on the sand went flat. And I really think, just whenever I started thinking about that song, I was like, this is so just amazing, the way that song and what it says, and just the underlining meaning for it really applies to our Plexus business as well. Just how strong your foundation is will really take you as far as you want to go in this company. And that's what it came back to for me when I had those thoughts of, is it worth it? And everything. I went back to my foundation and my belief in the company, my belief in the products, my belief in network marketing as a whole. I went back to that, and if your belief is there and the foundation is there, it makes you want to keep going. But as I was kind of preparing for this call, I found just a few things that I wanted to share. And the first one is that when you're building a foundation, there are really two parts. When you're building a foundation for your network marketing business, there are really two parts to that. There is the foundation you have in yourself and the foundation you have in your team. And obviously, you're going to have to work the hardest in the beginning building yourself. And that includes just some of the things that I already mentioned. Overcoming that fear of rejection, overcoming your doubts, being able to set goals, managing your time well, and just learning about network marketing in general. Just being able to build yourself up and make you more confident. Can y'all hear my child? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. His daddy just decided to go jump in the shower, so he is crying at his door. He will be okay, though. Anyway, I'm going to try to focus. So building yourself up is really the part that you want to spend like 90% of your time on, just because having the foundation for yourself is so imperative to this business. And network marketing is just like any other profession out there. You have to learn what it takes to be successful. If you get a new job, they're going to put you through a couple weeks of training, and then they're going to put you into your new position by yourself. They're like throw you in there. And the same is true for network marketing. Whenever you join Plexus, you kind of have to learn the ropes and learn how to prospect and how to communicate effectively with people and how to lead your team and how to manage your time and all those kinds of things. The second part was helping to build up your team. And I think all that goes back to a word that we hear so much, especially in Plexus, and it's relationships. Making sure that you have that solid relationship with your team members, whether they're, your level ones or further down. Having that solid foundation really helps you to have a long-lasting business. And then I found a wonderful quote. I just loved it. I'm going to read it straight out. In the 45-second presentation, Don Fala, maybe, talks about building skyscrapers. When a contractor is building a skyscraper, it can take up to 1 year or more just to build the foundation. However, once the foundation is built, the rest of the skyscraper can get built up pretty quickly. So that really spoke to me just about our business and how if we focus on the relationships and building ourselves in the beginning, then the rest of it can kind of come pretty quickly when we go to building our business. Just looking at my notes really quickly. And then another quote that I found from Zig Ziglar, I love this. Just whenever you're talking about building yourself up and your foundation, motivation is like showering. You got to do it every day. So you just have to keep yourself motivated, to keep going and believe in yourself and tell yourself those positive things to build that firm foundation. Um, yes. Yes. I'm just looking over my notes really quickly. And then, so the little song that this really made me think of, the wise man, that actually comes from a verse in the Bible. It comes from Matthew chapter 7, 24 to 25. Excuse me. And it is, therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like the wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose up, and the wind blew and beat against the house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. So those rains and the stream rising and the wind blowing and beating against the house, that is our discouragement, our lack of motivation, our rejection, our distractions, our objections. So when those things happen, how firm is your foundation that you can withstand all of those things and keep going and, even keep building? And one more about building yourself and your foundation. This verse is from Luke chapter 6, verse 45. And it is, the good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and the evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For out of the overflow of his heart, his mouth speaks. So whatever you have inside is what's going to come out. I like that one a lot. I
love that.
Yes. So,
do you mind sharing maybe one or two things, Laura, that come to mind when you think about how you helped to build a strong foundation? What were some maybe pivotal moments in your walk and your journey so far that you were like, okay, I need to do this, and this is what I did to kind of help me get through that?
Yes. So the first being my belief in the products. I know that they work. So when somebody tells me that they don't work, at first it was kind of hurtful to me, but because of the results that I personally have seen, that helps me build my belief and my foundation. It makes it more positive and stronger. The other thing, sorry, let me think. The thing that I've done to build my foundation strong is just like what you do, Liz, is the reaching out to the sidelines, to your sister legs, and just having those relationships outside of your team, and being able to see other people's successes really helps you to build your belief and for you to have your own strong foundation.
That's awesome.
Tell me the question again.
No, you're good. Just some of those pivotal moments that maybe you had that you were like, okay, this is what I kind of need to work on, or this is where my foundation may be rocky. It may have cracks in it. And how I really helped to pour the cement in those cracks and help to fill it up.
Yes. Okay. So like I was saying, last summer, I signed a lot of people over the 2 summer months. And those darn white lines, I was like, what is wrong with them? And it, it made me kind of doubt a little bit what I was doing. But what I realized was I wasn't building the foundation for my team. I knew it, and I was doing it for myself, but I didn't have that, like that second pillar, that the foundation of building your team strong. That was a big moment for me, and it's kind of still a big moment every time I look at my my back office report, and you see all those white lines. So yeah, just knowing that was a big crack in my foundation was the training and the pouring into your team, and right from the start, just if you let those 2 or 3 weeks or even a month go by and you don't, you don't check in or don't, try to train them or anything, that's hugely wasted time, and their chance of dropping off is much greater. So that was a crack that I found in my personal foundation.
That's awesome. That's great, for real. And I've been there too, in those white lines, and you just look and you're like, I mean, heavens, I won't even tell you what rank I could be if I
have like a full page of white lines. Like, it takes up the whole screen. I'm like, this is depressing. But
yes, you do. You have to bless and release. You have to understand that you're going to have people join, and you're going to have people leave, and you're going to have to order the product, and you're going to have people leave, and that's just the way it works. And something that I was just telling my team about a week ago was, we were talking about how those white lines, and you get discouraged by them at times, but one of the ways that you can combat that, in my opinion, is, and you can share as well if you have a different opinion, is that you just keep adding. You just keep adding more. You just keep helping your team to grow. And you obviously have in the back of your mind, okay, well, they could come back because I've seen it happen. But then at the same time, you know that I've always heard Maggie, my direct upline, say, it's a whole lot easier to give birth than raise the dead.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because Megan has told me the same thing.
So, Megan, I know you're on here, so if you're listening, then we're just repeating everything you've ever told us.
Can y'all hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Can you? I'm on my way. I just met with some of our team in South Carolina and had dinner, and it was amazing. But it's pouring down rain, so I am driving, so I just wanted to say, hey, real fast. Laura, thank you for doing this for Liz. You both are amazing, and everyone that's on this call tonight is going to be super, super blessed by both of you. So I love you all, and I'm so proud of you guys. So I love y'all. I'm going to mute myself and pay attention to the road some more, but I love you guys.
I'm glad you were on here. Now, I'm glad I didn't know, because I would have been super nervous.
That's awesome. Awesome. I know they had fun in South Carolina.
Yes.
Does anybody else have a question for Laura or for myself or for in general?
Liz, can I say something real fast?
Yeah.
Sorry, I unmuted again. I don't know if this was said before because I got in on the tail end, but when you asked Laura about where were some of the cracks in her foundation, I'm not speaking for Laura here, but I'm speaking for myself as far as, I think some of the cracks in my foundation were anybody that I added to my team, I thought would immediately just want to self-teach themselves and run with it. And it's easy to say that because Laura did that. Laura was that self-teacher. She took it and ran with it. Liz, you were one of those self-teachers. There are people on your team that literally just take it and they watch you every day. These calls, you have to hold their hand and walk them through this because some are scared to death and some just don't know what to do. Even, putting stuff out there for them, it's still hard for them. So that was one of the biggest cracks that I had to think, knowing when you add people to your team, you guys are talking about white line.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need their hand held for a little while. So that was something that I had to work through.
That's a great point, Megan. I'm glad you added that because it is. I mean, I love, because I think it's easy. And Laura, give your 2 cents on this, but it's easy to think that if we did that ourselves and we just kind of ran with it, they'll do the same. You just want to shake people sometimes, and you're like, why don't you get the vision? I got the vision.
Yeah.
Why don't you get it? But and if you're on the call tonight and you're hearing that and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I've been there. Be encouraged. Laura, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd kind of second what Megan said, just because I felt like if people wanted it, they would go get it. I wouldn't, I gave them everything that they need, and if they want to use it, they'll use it. If they don't, they won't, But when people see you being successful, it helps to build their belief too, which helps to give them a stronger foundation. So just that goes back to that relationship and, building the foundation with your team. It just all goes together. We hear it all the time, over and over, belief and relationships. And that's basically what it's all about. Belief in yourself, the products, network marketing, your team, everything, and then having positive relationships and building them and nurturing them and everything.
I know.
Yeah, so I just want to share one more thing about building yourself, giving yourself a firm foundation. I'm sure everybody's probably heard this. I'm not exactly 100% sure where it came from, but we all know that your thoughts determine your words determine your actions determine your habits determine your character, and your character determines your destiny. So those things that you're saying to yourself are going to determine where you ultimately end up. That's kind of scary, but that's also very powerful. And that's something that I still struggle with. I'm sure a lot of us probably do. But that's a great position to be in and a very scary position to be in, that you control everything.
Yeah. I agree. Absolutely. Does anybody else have a quick question for Laura before we hop off? I've had so much fun chatting with you tonight, Laura.
Yeah.
Thanks for being able to hop on earlier and give us her input. And I just want to thank you again for taking time out of your evening to share with us and just collaborate and learn and grow from each other. And we've got an event coming up in Smithfield we're working on planning for anybody that's on the call.
Yes.
And we're working on an event in
Kenansville, yeah.
And so, again, don't forget to mark your calendars for June 25th. It's going to be a big old fun day. More details to come about that. They'll be released later on. So, again, thank you all for getting on our Live with Liz call tonight and taking time out of your evenings. And we thank you again, Laura, for sharing with us.
Yes, thank y'all. I appreciate it.